Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the full shows online at WCBE.org. I'm John DeSando.
I'm Johnny DiLoretto. This is Cinema Classics.
It is. And he's back.
He's back, finally, after what seems like a really long hiatus. I'm not sure how long it was. I bet if you went back and looked, probably
he probably did some stuff. But
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, great talent.
Back in the good graces of Hollywood.
Wow.
With the movie Dolomite Is My Name.
Yep.
One of these Netflix productions. Had a brief theatrical run. Now it's available on Netflix. Not a great movie.
No.
But a fun movie. And I would describe it as sort of the black version of The Disaster Artist.
Yes, right? I think that's perfect.
So you get a behind-the-scenes movie, and behind-the-scenes tale of the making of a cultish blaxploitation movie.
Yeah, right. And his name is
Rudy Ray Moore.
Rudy Ray Moore.
Who was a nightclub comic back in New York, or was it New York?
It seems so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was back. It was in New York, and he's flailing his career. He's working at a record store when we discover him, and he's a hustler.
Yeah.
Always trying to come up with something, and he discovers this character. He creates this character, Dolomite, who comes out with these crazy rhymes, these vulgar rhymes.
Yeah.
And one thing leads to another. He gets a movie deal, and they make this legendarily bad film.
He's unabashedly a black supporter. Most of what he does is to please his black audiences. Yeah. Which I like very much about him.
That's really interesting dynamic of the film is that he is really just focusing down on this very specific audience that finds his stuff funny and finds that there is a wider appeal to it.
Yeah, and what I like that's different from, say, Ed Wood or Tommy Wiseau is that Dolomite is really a smart guy. Mm-hmm. Where the other two, you question whether they have their wits about them. Yeah. I think he has his wits about him.
Yeah, he does, and that's the appealing part of Eddie Murphy in this role. Is he's not just like, Ed Wood is an idiot, and then you have Johnny Depp running around just acting like an idiot the whole time. And Eddie Murphy here is very smart. He's the character as Rudy Ray Moore. He's trying to maintain control over his persona.
Yes.
And as he slowly kind of loses control of the finances and controlling the movie, and there's a sweetness to him that's underlying all of it.
Oh yeah.
His affection for the crew, the cast and crew, and how movie making sort of, and maybe this is what really sells the movie, how the infectious spirit of making a film kind of transforms.
Yes, good one. Yes, a good behind the scenes. Now, you were talking about what he had done lately, and I think it was maybe 7 or 8 years ago he did Tower Heist, which was, I think, one of the things.
And I got to tell you, I loved that movie. I thought that was a fun movie.
Nobody else does.
I know nobody else did that. It's because everybody else has bad taste.
All right, I'm going to tell you what I think.
Tower Heist is a good picture.
I think is a major accomplishment of his animated voice. Mm-hmm. Donkey, for instance, in Shrek. I think I listened to that, and it allows him to do his toss-off lines, his wise-ass lines. Yeah. It's almost as if this were a really perfect venue for him.
Yeah. So there's going to be a Coming America 2. There's going to be a Beverly Hills Cop 4. This stuff is all in the works.
That's right.
I wanted to prepare Franco for the second coming of Eddie Murphy. So I was like, I got to show you something. So we went on YouTube, and I showed him the dinner table scene from the first Nutty Professor movie. And I got to tell you, we watched it. We watched that scene 3 or 4 times. And talk about his voices, changing his voices. And he does a little subtle different sort of dialect with each one to set them apart. They each have their own mannerisms. He's one of the great comic performers. How we lost him is a mystery, but it goes to show you how fickle Hollywood is, how fickle the movie-making business is. You start to, Eddie Murphy was known at the outset of his career for his hard-edged R comedies.
Yeah. Saturday Night Live is an original cast member of Saturday Night Live.
But 48 Hours,
48
Beverly
Hours,
Hills Cop,
Trading Places.
Trading Places. These were movies
Yes.
that were funny, they
Good
were
ones.
edgy,
Good
they
ones.
were R-rated, and then he kind of started to lose his mojo, I think, a little bit when he started doing and relying on family
Sure.
films.
And as we always like to do on these shows, his comedic influences in his case. Who are the comedians he admires most? And
I think I know this.
I knew you would let me. Go ahead.
Because I watched an interview recently.
Oh,
with him.
all right.
So you tell me if I'm wrong. Number one above all is Richard Pryor.
Okay.
That was his.
Okay.
George Carlin.
Okay.
Richard Pryor. There's probably another one in there, but the one that really surprised me is he said Chaplin.
Oh, yeah, right. Very good. And the one that wouldn't surprise you, but might now, given the current context, Bill Cosby.
Oh, yeah, Bill Cosby. That's right.
And then, in lesser ways, Red Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Although he paid for Fox's funeral.
Did he really?
Yeah. And Robin Williams.
He paid for Robin Williams' funeral?
No, Red Fox.
Red Fox paid for Robin Williams' funeral? I'm thoroughly confused.
I know you. Eddie Murphy paid for Red Fox's funeral.
Okay. And where does Robin Williams fit into all of this?
He's just another one.
Oh, he said Robin Williams was. Okay, I got it.
Though Robin Williams is dead.
Yes, no, I'm aware. That's why I was confused how he paid for anybody's funeral.
And you know, one thing that I find always interesting is he's the winner of the 2015 Mark Twain Prize. It's like Julia Louis-Dreyfus got that, I think, recently.
Well, wait, who just got it?
Well,
Dave Chappelle just got it.
Did he? Yeah. I think they are interesting. I don't know why I find them odd choices. Maybe because they're such pop cult icons. I think of the Mark Twain Prize as a little heftier, but it's not. It's about humor.
It is about. Listen, I remember Eddie Murphy like you. I can't even explain to you like as a teenager. He was just. I mean, we lapped up anything this guy said. You know, all the Saturday Night Live stuff we memorized verbatim, so that on Monday morning when you went to school, you were what Eddie Murphy quotes were you coming on to school with?
Yes.
He was just a dynamic persona. I also do remember sort of missteps and misfires, like The Golden Child. Like we would get excited about a movie,
don't even know that,
and then it would fail.
I picked out only the ones that I thought were.
Anyway, look, it's exciting to have
John Doolittle, Dr. John Doolittle.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick out the one you would have been talking about. Yeah, all right. So we're kind of B for Dolomite, right?
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth a look.
Yeah.
Especially, like I said, because you do get a glimpse of a different period, a different time, a different way of making movies, and that to me is sort of really infectious. The excitement and the commitment that you have to a project, to a creative project, and when you know it's going south, when you know stuff isn't working. There's a scene in the movie where they're going to shoot a sex scene. And you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do.
And
I love that.
And they start pushing the
love it.
Pushing the envelope a little bit in terms of ridiculousness.
Yes.
And you know, they're trying to make an action movie or something, and then they put this ridiculous sex scene, and they know it's funny.
Yeah.
And they know it's silly.
And the thing is that he's concerned about it until he's relieved by advice that says, make it light.
Yeah, make it funny. Because he's a comedian.
Yes, they do. All right, anyway, it's Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm. Dolomite is my name.
Yes.
And effing up mother effers is my game.
And he is 58 years old.
Yep.
And
Eddie Murphy's 58?
Yep.
He looks great.
He looks great. He acts great. He's a man who...
He looks excited to be doing it again.
Yeah.
You know? So...
Eddie Murphy.
He's back.
Lucky that he was on Cinema Classics.
Yeah. He'll thank us, I'm sure.